All right. All right. Now let's get started.
All I'm saying is it's going to be a surprise, but
That's right.
I'm sure it'll be one you all like.
Yeah, I saw they're setting winners.
Anyway,
There's actually like
guys,
really,
Dabuz
really
and Nairo.
close.
Not quite a Subway series because they're not both from New York.
All right. So one thing I will point out right away, not that Nairo did anything wrong here, but just like people playing as Olimar in general. This is something I noticed when I played Dabuz in friendlies and Myron, and Rich Brown. I'm hip as well. Is that those type of scenarios when Olimar throw a Pikmin at you, a lot of people like immediately go into the mode of like getting rid of the Pikmin right away, which sometimes is good, but if you like retreat and give up too much space, and sometimes you get hit for like throwing out the move to get the Pikmin off, so sometimes you're gonna eat much more damage from Olimar's like aerials and stuff, since you like predictably try to get rid of it right away. So that's something to like keep in mind. Like, what's your range relatively to Olimar? Can you get it off without getting punished for it? And so on. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people, and myself included as well, when I started playing as Olimar, I noticed I was doing that too much on the wrong ranges.
Nairo, not quite a Subway series because they're not both from. Either way, guys. Dabuz and Nairo, not quite a Subway series.
Yeah, you can actually see that's like a little good thing from Nairo there. Like a little small detail. So he gets the Pikmin here. So he gets the Pikmin here, and he like goes back and then forward again, almost making it look like, all right, I have a Pikmin and I don't care. And then he jumps back again. So by going forward first, he might have like baited the bus into thinking that, yeah, you can't like close the distance against me.
Series, they're not both from
So that can be like a good little trick. Make it look like, oh, I'm still gonna attack you.
Local top dogs.
Oh, Nairo tried to turn that around. That's good. I personally actually hate that design where even if you hit with the back hit, you still get sent in front. I personally think it's awful design, but that's how it works. So it was a good idea by Nairo, because if this Nair hit, he would like, you know, drag them in again and be able to extend the combo further. So that was good. Or good attempt, I should say, since he didn't actually land it.
Top dogs in this area. They've been the best.
Also, against Olimar's recovery, if your character have multi-hit moves, that's how I would recommend. That's the type of moves I would recommend using. It's very hard for most characters to land like single hit aerials, especially against someone like Dabuz that is super good when it comes to recovery. Like, he's much better than the other Olimars at recovery. It's one of the few characters where I actually feel like a major difference how good, like how much of an impact being decent or good at recovery makes. A lot of characters like Lucina, I can't really tell if just by recovering, I can't tell if it's like a world-class player or a pretty good player, for example. But with Olimar, it actually is quite a lot of difference, to me at least.
Their respective states all the way since the beginning of Smash 4, honestly since the end of Brawl. Nairo in their respective states all the way since the beginning of Smash 4, honestly since the end of Brawl.
Oh yeah, that was good. He even punished air dodge.
That's
right. Yeah, Nair good. Nair good for ledge trapping. Covers the jump.
Everything around here.
That's right. This is a matchup player-wise.
Yeah, that's something. This is very common for Olimar players. I know the boss does this a lot. For people that try to like two-frame and stuff, the boss, when he goes for the ledge, he's like not trying to take the ledge right away. He does like a rising up air trying to hit you, and then, you know, he gets the ledge very quickly after. Even if you shield it, like, you can't really do anything in many of those scenarios. So that's something to keep in mind, that these type of up airs are very common. I know Light does it with Fox, but that one, if you read it and shield it, then you have a good opportunity to, you know, go down and like hit him. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Like, you can make it look like you're not going to shield him and shield at the last moment.
Right here, of course, we're just going to put this one right on their Wikipedia page on who's going to win the most of the set counts.
Yeah, some of the best clashes of offense and defense for both these players.
The most of the set counts.
Yeah, some of the best clashes.
right on their Wikipedia page on who's going to win the most of the set counts.
Yeah, some of the best clashes of offense and defense for both these players. And you know what? Sometimes
Yeah, explosive flame, like it's a little bit tight, but you can react to that move.
And you know what? Sometimes
So unless you are throwing out the move already, then if you stay, how do you say? If you don't throw out anything on reaction, you can air dodge that move. I feel like people get hit by it too much. I mean, we're human; it will happen, you know, at some point. But it's a move people get hit by too much on average, for sure.
Has to, you know, bring out some defensive play to beat Dabuz, and Dabuz has to bring out that offense to beat Nairo as well. So you get to see a great mix coming out from both of these two, but it's so cool to see how they interact with each other.
Yeah, they both adapt really well on the fly too, if I might add. You know, there was a tournament a couple years ago, actually in your backyard. I think it's called Do or Die.
Yep.
And that was
Nairo likes to do that dropping Nair. It's really good. Super active hitbox, very, very strong. Super good edgeguard tool, especially against up beasts that don't have a hitbox. Some up beasts it will beat as well, even though it has a hitbox. But a lot of characters like Olimar, Inkling, these type of characters, if you're a Palu player, those type of dropping Nairs are super good. That's something I noticed when I played Nairo, that he liked to do these dropping Nairs. So sometimes, like, what you want to do is like mix up your uppy timing, so you don't always do the uppy the same way. Like, you do it, you know, equally as far away from the stage, the same timing, like everything, because it will just mean like easy Nairs. Sometimes what I like to do too, it's a bit more risky if you have high damage, but with Inkling, for example, what I like to do is like be on the outside and go like above. But if the Palu player runs off, make it look like they're gonna Nair, jump back on the stage, they could F smash, which kills early. So it's something to like be careful about, especially when you have damage, when like a smash attack would kill.
I think it's called Do or Die, and that was back when like
Yep,
I was
that
readjusting
kills.
to the most recent ZSF nerf buff, or Nair nerfs, excuse me. And Dabuz, I mean, just honestly took full advantage of that. So both these two players really good at just kind of
Dash attacks is something to be careful about against the Dabuz.
Dabuz, I mean, just honestly took full advantage of that.
I know when I play the Dabuz, when you have high damage, he likes to shield a lot. In scenarios where you might dash attack and then, you know, get you with like an up smash or something. Even if you have low damage, like, I mean, Olimar's up smash gives a lot of damage.
So both these two players really good at just kind of picking each other apart and figuring out where it is that they're lacking so they can expose that.
Yeah, and of course, adaptation aside, these guys already have so much data downloaded on each other, right? You're going to see some interactions that might look a little weird for players who have never played each other, but they're probably going through some crazy
I was about to say, as that ledge trap was about to be set up, I was about to say, the Dabuz, in my experience, he likes to do a lot of like smash attacks. He likes to cover like the grounded options when he ledge traps and focus a little bit less on the jump. Tweak is a bit similar, where he focused a lot on the grounded options, so you can like jump, but he's still like Tweak, for example, he's good at like staying grounded and make it hard for you to land. Like, he's good at like good at making it hard for you to land. So yeah, it's very important when you play against players, notice like which ledge trap options do they prioritize more. Like, it is different flow charts for how to ledge trap, but a lot of players, they use like different flow charts. So it's kind of like, again, some players it might be slightly better to jump a little bit more often. Again, some people it might be slightly better to do, you know, something else. Against the Dabuz, in my experience, it felt like jumping a little bit more was the right call. But we'll see how this set progress when it comes to the ledge trapping.
each other, but they're probably going for some crazy deep read or looking for a tendency that they've noticed over the many.
Yeah, that's something to be aware of when you play Olimar too. When you're off stage, when he throws purple, that will actually like kill you. So make sure to avoid that.
Many years of gameplay they've had together.
Oh my goodness, and over the many years we've seen that down air claim the lives of many. But that time Nairo was able to find himself spike on stage instead of off stage. We have the DI in just a little bit. Back air, nice. Get that white Pikmin out of here. But see, the scary thing about the Pikmin is that when you kill one, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Gets the jump.
Yeah, getting ledge trap can feel pretty bad. This like regular stand-up pro players are so good at like always react to it and
Scary
just
thing about the
like
Pikmin is that
grab
when
you
kill
for
one, they
it.
just keep coming.
Gets the jump.
But it's like,
Wow,
I mean, it's an
up air
option
was
you gotta do
barely-
sometimes.
The Pikmin is that when you kill one, they just keep coming.
Gets the jump.
That was good by Dabuz, the down air. Like, when he does this down air, he's barely in front of Nairo. But then you can see that he, like, drift towards Nairo.
Wow.
And then land behind. A lot of people, like, at low and mid-level, they would have, like, landed right in front of Nairo. But Dabuz landed behind, which means that this grab can't possibly hit.
Oh, the up air was barely short, and the buzz still
Wait,
Just
really?
keep
Wait.
coming.
gets the jump. Wow, the up air was barely short, and the buzz.
I'm
still
wondering
trying
if
to
he
close
could
out the
punish that or
stock right
not.
now.
But its
And,
ultimates we
man,
probably
just-
couldn't.
he's still
Even
taking
though
it.
he
He's got
dodged,
the
he
full
probably
take
had
rage
to
and
play the
close out the second
50-50
stock
mix-up war.
now. And man, just look at Nairo. He's still taking. He's got the full take of rage, and he closed out the second stock. What a lead!
He's warmed up. He's charged up.
Now, if I recall correctly, the last time these two met was at Glitch 7 and Dabuz
Yeah, good
took
up
the
air,
W.
catching the
Nairo
jump.
using my carpool home. He was not happy about it, to say
Oh, I
the least.
bet. Oh, I
So this
bet.
is the revenge arc right now.
Yeah, I heard Nairo doesn't like losing to the buzz. That's what I heard.
Nairo,
Oh, I
this is
bet.
the revenge arc right now.
Yeah, I heard Nairo doesn't like losing to the buzz. That's what I heard.
Nairo doesn't
Yeah,
like
that was so
losing.
close that
Period.
Nairo
It's
got
personal
that
for him.
punish.
That's right.
Yeah, Olmar's whistle, really good to get out of like
Period.
some
Right.
key
Yeah.
Personal for
key
him.
scenarios. I know against
These guys
Inkling
are
you can
rivals,
whistle the up
always
throw
in
up
the
air.
top 10 throughout Smash 4, remaining in the top 10 in Ultimate. It's perfect rivals for each other, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. A lot of history right here.
Yep,
to be
that's a
made,
lot
but
of
who knows, he's
damage,
gonna rewrite
a
it
lot
right
of
here. I mean,
damage.
where is it? Where are the scales going to tip? Right now, they're tipping. a
Yep,
little bit
that's the
more in
upper we
Nairo's
talked
favor.
about earlier. That's the upper we talked about earlier.
Where is it? Where are the scales going?
The boss loves to do it. He does it like pretty much every time. And he's so close to the edge too. You see like how quickly he grabs the ledge after the upper is over. You probably could parry and get a move out if you have a quick one. That would probably be it actually.
More in Nairo's favor, obviously being
Now
up
when I
on
think
two
about it.
stocks,
But some
again,
characters
really is a lead to the
probably
Buzz. We
can't
see
really
how
do
strong
anything.
His Rosalina gameplay was earlier today.
I'm not
in bracket
100% sure
for top
though.
eight.
It's
Just
not
being
like a
able to just
scenario
dig
I'd
deep
super
and really
labbed
just
out.
close out some of those games that seemed like they weren't bracket for top 8. Just being able to just dig deep and really just close out some of those games that seemed like they weren't really, in his face.
Yeah, that's good by Nairo.
And really just
So what I liked about this sequence from
his Rosalina
Nairo,
gameplay was
so
earlier today in bracket
he
for top
gets
8.
he gets the boss off
being able to
stage. The boss has multiple Pikmins, right? And the more Pikmins you have when you use the up B, the worse it is, pretty much. Which is why I normally see Olimars throw away pretty much all of them, so they have like a better up B to work with. But as soon as Nairo gets the boss off stage, he first throws Explosive Flame. The boss has to air dodge here in this scenario. And now he can't really throw any Pikmins, right? Because he's still stuck in the air dodge. And Nairo starts chasing him right away. He did get one out. Yeah, he did get one out. Gets stopped by the Nair. Now he has to up B because he's super low. The boss, Nairo makes it back to the ledge first. And the boss doesn't really have any options. So the fact that Nairo went out there... honestly, what the boss should have done, honestly, probably in the first place...
Top 8, just being able
is
to
here is to use like drift, like be further out. Like sure, it would be worse in the sense that he's further away from the stage, so he has slightly worse like mix-up game since he's further away from the stage, which means he will need to use more more of his up B to make it back in the first place. But yeah, the correct play from the boss, knowing if he knew this would happen, would probably be to stay outside of Explosive Flame, be able to throw away more Pikmins, and then try to recover. But yeah, what happened is, yeah, the air dodge, he's stuck with a lot of Pikmins, and then he's dead.
Holy hell!
So, yeah.
The buzz kind of gets a bad rep, and so whatever the honest,
Yeah. We're gonna puppeteer the.
All right.
is going to play out in his favor.
Ooh, but looks
Yeah,
like
the
we
Buzz
do see
switching
the
to
switch instead
Rosa.
of Pikmin, we're gonna puppeteer the
Switching to
stars
Rosa.
here. And I mean that's what the Buzz likes. He likes those kind of like micromanaging characters, right?
Yeah, multi-hit moves. I feel like people don't talk about
I mean,
that
that's
enough,
what
but
the Buzz
multi-hit
likes. He
moves are
likes those kinda,
so
like,
good
micro-
against like parries.
Managing.
Like theoretically, yes, you don't have to get hit by the extended hits, but yeah, they are really annoying to deal with. That's something that makes a character like Pikachu, for example, more annoying, is that he has so many multi-hit moves, which means parry is worse against him. And then small characters, they are so short, so even if you mix up your aerials, they have an easier access to parry because you're pretty much forced to delay your aerial.
Characters, right?
Yeah, the puppet characters, man. Which one is it in Blaze Blue? Arcune?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, the one with the
That is loading so long for some reason.
Characters, man. Which one is it in Blaze Blue? Arcune?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a weakness of Rosa. That even if you shield, Luma is like very exploitable.
I mean, that's
Let's
definitely
go.
right. The buzz
Okay.
is like alley because it's like
It's important when you play against Rosa to find like which ones of your moves puts her in tumble
It's just like a
or puts
it's just
Luma
like
in
a
tumble.
trifecta, that's right. And then Mewtwo has
Like I know in
it's not
Smash
pitting.
4, Zero was doing a lot of like monkey flips,
Next player,
and
okay.
then yeah,
Zero D.
Why does
Luma
anyone
was
wanna
just
play
like
friendlies
dead.
with me now?
Anyway, off to already a slugfest of Imagine. Dabuz kind of getting in there, man. Like you guys said, maybe not the most defensive player out there, but certainly of Imagine. Dabuz kind of...
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate for
Anyway, off
Nairo.
to already a slugfest of Imagine. Dabuz kind of...
You can often kind of like see when the platforms are about to come out on this stage.
That's right.
So it's like not as much RNG as like a lot of people think, but it's still
That's right.
annoying.
It's being very oppressive. I mean, both
And
these two
sometimes
players
these
very
kind of
oppressive
screw you
for very
over.
different reasons. The nature
Yeah,
of
the boss is very
Armada,
good at catching
very just,
landings with
shutting you
Rosa.
down, keeping you pinned down to a corner, kicking you when you're down, just really taking away all your recovery options. But the buzz, I mean, just having so much.
Oh really? I was about to
just
say,
really taking away
please
all your
don't
recovery
die.
options, but the buzz,
Please
I mean,
don't
just
die.
having
In those type of scenarios,
corner,
like,
kicking you when you're down, just really taking away
says
all your
edge
recovery
guarding is
options.
not, you know, super much of a thing in this game. And Namjox, thank you for the 4 months. Thank you so much. Says edge guard is not as much of a thing, and kill confirms are not, you know, as common if you compare it to a game like Melee. It's super important in scenarios where you die at low percent. Like it's very important to like keep your stock. Super important. So in this type of scenario for the boss, honestly, if you feel like it's a risk of dying at low percent, in my experience, I feel like it's better to do something that might be obvious, but even if you get punished for it, you don't die. So if the boss did an early air dodge, even if Nairo read it, he wouldn't have died. So yeah, like this is like high risk, low reward, I would say. While if the boss made like an air dodge earlier, I would say there was like less risk. But if he got punished, it wouldn't matter as much. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. But now he died, like he had 78 before that up there, so that's like huge.
God to the damn. And I mean, just the jump call, that's where Nairo, and he gambles it all. He goes for those hard reads. He's gonna kill you at 80. Like that's what.
What do you mean gamble it all?
Gambles it all.
It was not a gamble from Nairo.
Damn.
Not really.
And
Like
just
it
the jump call,
didn't
that's
really
where Nairo,
involve
and
like
he
a big
gambles it
risk.
all. He goes for those hard reads. He's gonna kill you at 80. Like that's what Nairo does. He wants to do that. And that's
Ooh, that was almost so good.
He goes for those hard reads. He's gonna kill you at 80. Like that's what Nairo does. He wants to do that, and that's why he's so fun to watch. And one thing I really want to point out is the Buzz has really been utilizing Rosalina's dash. When Rosa dashes, she kind of like crouches down to the ground, and we've really seen the Buzz like utilize that to avoid moves and then come back in and whip punish. So strong.
It's also after that too. We've been also seeing him do like a lot of pseudo dash, and that's how he's got a lot of those up smashes earlier today. Like you get the knockdown. Obviously
I'm
your combo,
surprised
like,
to
the big
like.
dash in.
Doesn't feel like
You
Nairo is
have
going
a
for
little up
Luma
smash every
that
time.
much so far.
And I love
I will
the
admit that I've
as
never
well
seen
coming out
this
from the
particular
Buzz.
matchup,
It's so good.
but
And that's one thing
yeah,
that
it feels
you don't
like
really, you never really saw
he's
in
not-
Smash 4. So this
It's probably
Rosalina
hard.
kind of
It's
confidence in
probably
this game is
hard.
pretty hype.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Like,
the new
I
Nair
didn't
is
really
so
play
huge for
Smash
him.
4
Luma
either,
still basically
so-
does the
Damn.
same thing, which is really good for getting the setups and the lockdown. And then you just have this super quick.
Yeah,
move.
Nair seems to be
Double jump
good
after
against
doing it from
Luma.
a short hop. It just opens the world for Rosalina. You're seeing Dabuz get so much off of it throughout this bracket.
Yeah, this is like one of the classic baits to beat out neutral air dodge. Like when people are in disadvantage, is to like kind of jump towards them and then just fall down. And if they air dodge, you can punish them easily. And if they don't air dodge and they like jump, for example, instead, well, now you still have like another Chark scenario.
Throughout this bracket.
Okay.
The world for Rosalina, you're seeing Dabuz get so much off of it throughout this bracket.
And yeah, you can see, yeah, Nairo did like the same thing again there.
We're waiting for the Luma to respawn. Of course, Dabuz going into the shield, and Nairo wants to make the most of this situation.
Yep,
for the Luma to respawn.
that's the Nair we talked about. Against these type of upbeats, no hitbox, falling Nair. And you never run the risk that they're gonna get to tech, since you don't have to space your move. It always pushes you in front.
And there goes that Luma was fresh, just coming back on.
Good backer, good backer.
Just fresh into the real world. Didn't even get a chance to experience live before being.
Yeah, it's very important against these type of upbeats like Rosa, Joker, is to like time your edge guards.
Shut the hell down right there, man.
It can be kind of hard, but very manageable to get it pretty consistently, even if they mix up their timing. Yeah, that's a strong back throw.
Elects to go for something short, simple, and sweet. The yeet right into the blast zone.
Were you trying to pressure me, Dabuz? Actually, I'm going to take your stock real quick. Thank you.
Every time. Every time.
Yeah, Dabuz so good at catching the landings with up
Even when
smash.
his back is to the wall, but a player like Dabuz, man, he just makes you run the grind over and over.
Yeah, that's another one of these scenarios that could possibly have ended in an early kill. Is here, like, if he gets a second backer, so Dabuz here, like, he's already, like, making sure that I can't die from this scenario. Even if I end up taking some damage, I won't die. So, challenging Nairo in, like, this type of position, you know, possibly could have been death. But the jump there secures that he won't die.
Run the grind over and over again to take 2 sets off this guy to make this comeback. Even in this match, it's going to be a difficult task.
Are you kidding? Whoa, whoa.
All right, 1-1.
How many times? Here we go. Game number 3, tied at 1 apiece. These guys have been here so many times in grand finals, on the big stage, fighting piece.
Yeah, that one is giving Dabuz a lot of mileage. Like this sequence,
fighting each other, etc.
Even solid damage. Been landing it pretty consistently too.
Extra hungry today. There's something about winning this tournament. It's like this is the pride and joy of Tri-State right now.
Yep, that should be it for Luma.
On the line here. I mean, in the first S tier, so huge shout out to you guys.
Luma's a little bit like handling Nana. You just gotta know like the sequences that guarantees a kill.
It's crazy that there's so much talent in Tri-State, and this is the first S tier, so it's so exciting to see it, like, history just unfold.
Yo, they were just tied at 66.5.
Ooh, that was close. He almost got rid of Luma again. Yep. That's a risk of like, or that's like what you have to, how do you say, like, if you're shielding by the ledge as Rosa, it's like, yep, it's just gonna, Luma's just gonna disappear. But I mean, sometimes you just have to accept that and like let them hit your shield. You can't always like jump out of the shield, because then maybe you eat the backer or roll in. Like, of course you can like try to mix it up once in a while, but I would imagine that it's important as a Rosa to sometimes just accept that, you know, Luma will be dead, and I'll have to be able to play without Luma for a while. It's super important. And it would be a thing that like separates like great Rosas from like pretty good Rosas, is that you're able to play well even without Luma. Same thing with like Ices, being able to play well without Nana. Dude, Dabuz is doing actually a fantastic job with all these up smashes. I don't think he has like whiffed a single one pretty much.
Just like that, Dabuz is keeping it. Nairo can just make,
these type of air dodges are also super common.
What an interesting drag down, but Nairo,
like these type of air dodges here, like when you hit someone with like one kind of quick move, and then people, you know, are often ready to DI in, and then the air dodge, it's just like a very universal habit. Like Leo, for example, would like side Bs with like Lucina, for example, and then wait for the air dodge and like hit them. It's like, I've seen a lot of these type of scenarios with different characters where this type of air dodge is a super common. habit. It's like universal habit, more or less. It's like everyone does
He's so
it.
creative with his offense, but just like that, the Buzz is keeping it down to the decimal.
Yes, you know, creative or not, you know, when those moves attack, you know what I'm saying, when they land, you know what to expect afterwards. And again, you know, both these two players.
Yeah, goodbye Nairo stuffing out
Stereo.
Stereo.
Neutral. It's almost the fact that they know each other so well that could almost kind of hurt them sometimes. Sometimes you might want to bring something a little bit just different to the table just to keep your opponent on their toes. You know what I mean?
Consistently good. Oh yeah, it's like at least a second time with Luma. Like,
you know what I mean?
come here.
I love the
Whoa!
desync.
That's pretty cool sequences.
Yes,
Yeah,
pulling
so
all the
good.
strings. Change his name to Japan.
That's like what makes Rosa like very
Yeah, and
unique.
pretty much how you do that is you initiate a dash attack and then you jump. And then you will like jump there because you attack is still stored with the great buffering system of this game. So
Love it.
All right.
yeah, it's so
All
sick.
right. That's
It's
one way.
not a bug,
That's
it's a
one way.
feature, bro.
That's one way to feature. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember.
Consistently
all right.
good charging.
It's not a
That's
bug,
one
it's a
way.
feature, bro.
Up tilt,
One way to feature.
catching
Yeah.
with a jump,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
up
remember
air.
melee? Yeah, it's not
That was
yeah.
so close
Those
again.
are bugs,
Yeah,
man.
those-
He still
those
got
are
him with the jab
potential.
though.
All right, of course. Ooh, the shield grab.
Yeah,
Trying to
shield
come
grabs
out
are
for the
so
Buzz, but
bad in
ultimate
this game.
shield grabbing,
I think they
harder to get off,
over-nerfed
of course,
shield grab.
It takes 4 additional frames on top
Oh,
of
yep.
your shield
Same
grabbing.
thing
A
as
lot more
the
harder
Buzz
to
does
get
with
off, of
Olimar.
course. It takes
Jumping up air.
4 additional frames
then
on
get the
top
ledge.
of your shield.
A little
shield
bit
grab
slower with
animation
Rosa,
if
though,
you're in shield
but-
stun.
Yeah, and it puts some of those like more grapple heavy
Oh.
players into a
What
different spot.
a
Wow.
That was really good.
Yeah, and it puts
Like, it was good by the Buzz to recognize that his up air was gonna reach. It was really good by Nairo to just like tech and go for the nair right away. But yeah,
Pass
neither
situation to
died.
a good one here, gentlemen. Hold up.
The stall from the Buzz, though, he gets back on stage.
Yeah.
Turning a bad situation to a good one here, gentlemen. Hold up.
The stall from the Buzz, though, he gets back on stage and he returns it with the dunk. Wow, what a play. Back to back. And Fortress.
Wait, really, Knight? I earlier people said this volume was good. Like, I'm always just basing it on what like Twitch chat says. I guess I will really like reduce it a little bit, but yeah, I often get like super mixed feedback from people, so it's like it's very hard for me since you know I'm not listening to the stream myself. But yeah, I lowered it a little bit, and yeah.
These guys, man.
Bro, they gotta chill because if I lean any further back in my chair, I'm going over the balcony.
Wait,
Actually
whoa,
running
whoa.
over. Don't-
Not
don't-
like
I'm-
this.
Not
Not like this,
Not
Max. I
like
love
this.
you.
All right.
Not on purpose, bro.
Okay,
Strap me in, strap me in.
This is let's make big moves, not the final move, okay?
Oh, he almost got
Final
like
saga.
another one. Drag Nairo in.
All right, well, back down.
Dude, he's getting so much
Final
mileage
saga.
from that.
Final saga.
Yeah, it's like 2 hits. So it would be like a little bit annoying to parry
Final
too, because
saga.
you would have to parry twice. First this one, and then the landing one.
All right, well, back down to the wire, man. Both these guys just keeping it so close.
All right, has him at the ledge right here. Very good micro spacing. The down tilt stands a very far distance away from her body.
Yeah, he tried to get
Game number
that,
3 as well, both
get
these
that
guys.
down
Who's
air.
going to take the momentum in this first set? We all know how important game 3 is because if it does go to a game number 5, you have that safe counter pick, right? Such a big
That
deal
was
in this game.
close.
And the Buzz with the intrinsic advantage of a full set over Nairo. I mean, how much more personalized could it be? He's the one who sent Nairo losers too. So it's not even like, oh man, you know, if it was one set,
It's a bit of a
cut
chip
deal,
on
I
that
could've
shoulder.
won. No.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
a chip on the
A little
shoulder.
bit off on the
When
up
Naruto
smash
all that
timing.
in the back,
He had like the
so
right read
No
though.
matter which way you spin it right here, somebody's going to get opened up.
Think about how important this is for the Buzz.
Ooh, the Buzz overcommitted a little bit there. So in these type of scenarios, when you have someone above you and you have center stage, right? You have access to like all this area, and your opponent is like they need to get past you somehow, right? Or hit you so like you get more space again. What happens in these type of scenarios when someone is trying to come down, what a lot of players value is to like make sure that even if you don't get a hit, is to like not let them like get past you. But what happens here is that the Buzz, he goes a little bit too far. He drifts very far forward, and Nairo drifts a lot to the side. So what we can see is that Nairo actually gets past the Buzz,
This is for the Buzz. He
and
wants to
now
bring this
Nairo
home
turned it
for
around.
New York.
So it's very important that those type of scenarios
Think about how
to
important
not
this
let
is
the
for the
opponent
Buzz.
pass
He
you.
wants to bring this home for you, New York.
Of course,
Such a big
easier
deal.
said than
The up
done,
air
but
almost takes the
still.
Buzz. That move is so powerful. Oh wait, but the up smash doesn't get punished from Nairo.
And this is where the Buzz is at his scariest. He flash.
Oh, the classic
doesn't get
ultimate.
punished from Nairo.
And this is where Dabuz is at his scariest. These last second moment.
That was good though. He read the
Just
grab.
walking up and not doing anything.
Wait, Meister also. Actually, I did watch Meister with Nairo. I don't remember him SDing, but I mean, it was like shortly before I went to bed and was kind of tired. But yeah, that's a shame if he did as well.
A lot of things about a lot of top players. Trust me,
Yeah,
I've
he
talked to
knows.
him.
Yes, personalized. You know, competitively, he knows some things. I'm just like, why do you know that? Like, you know what I mean? But you know what though? You know, competitively, he knows some things. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, it doesn't happen as often in this game since the game is more floaty. But when you like throw people or attack people, it's very important to like recognize if they're landing on the platform before you're gonna be able to connect your move or not. Because this is like, it's so close, but Nairo gets attacked and the move whiffs.
But you know what though? Whatever sort of statistical advantage you can use, you know what I'm saying, information-wise. I mean,
So yeah, like in that scenario, like throwing, it would have been better to wait for the attack and then punish. But sometimes it's very hard to tell, like, are they actually gonna land first or not?
Still needs to keep up with the times, figure out all these new players that come up, the new threats in bracket, and who does he meet but one of his old threats, Nairo, here in Grands. And I don't know, man, Dabuz looking in a great position to take Let's Make Big Moves. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
That's right. You know, and it's
Yeah, that's
nice
also
to
like
think
what
about
makes it a
because
bit
we
hard
talk
to
about,
land.
you know,
Like
this
Dabuz
is
is
like-
partly really
sometimes
good
it
at
looks like
punching
a
landings,
game,
but
most
he
of
also
our
has
players
Luma
for
like
this
covering
game
like
are
one
in
area
30.
and then
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Rosa
just like a lot of our players are kind of the best of
covering
both worlds,
another
you know what I'm
area.
saying? Like, they're
So it makes it like extra
young player
hard.
bodies, old man mindset. We talked about that
Right,
earlier
right.
as well too. So it's actually crazy to think about.
I mean, Nairo was very young when he started his Brawl career, and so was Dabuz.
Yep,
So a lot of these
up
players, like you
smashes.
said, so much experience, but still so very young. So it's such an interesting dynamic to see. But I really want to point out.
Wait, did they land
so much
behind him
experience,
there?
but Still so very young. So it's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, he did. Barely.
But I
I'm
really
not
wanna
even
point
sure
out
if he
that, Nairo,
had
very scary
faith
player.
in landing
Nairo
behind
backs
there
into
since he
corner,
buffered the
even
rolls
scary.
right
So
away.
even
So
though
he
Dabuz
probably
played,
wasn't
I do
sure
not
that he
see
was actually
a
going to
game plan
cross
out of
up,
question.
even
No,
if it was
absolutely
what he
not. You definitely
attempted
don't
to
wanna
do.
pin, or at least attempt to pin Nairo down. Man, he's going to throw you for a loop every time. Okay, off the mark with the dash attack. Okay, couldn't quite get the dash attack response of his own. Luma has left the building here for a short period of time, and sometimes, you know, these few seconds that Luma's gone could actually feel like an eternity when you're being pressured properly. No grab. Okay, he's looking for the.
Yeah, that's pretty standard from Nairo, going for this setup. Like, because if you do a regular stand-up here, he gets the back throw and kills you. So it's a pretty common setup from Nairo. Like, characters with really strong back throws benefits from this.
No grab. Okay, he's looking for the neutral get up into the back throw. That was good.
Nairo's conditioning at the ledge throughout this whole top 8 has been insane. He'll just do that empty dash to cross you up and then turn around shield,
Boom.
wait for the ledge option. If it's get up, you cross yourself up, and then you go after the back throw.
That's right. Up tilt.
You
Good
cross
combo.
yourself up.
That's right. Sometimes,
Congratulations.
congratulations. You crossed yourself.
Like
homie.
you were in church.
Oh,
It
man.
is
Yeah,
Sunday,
solid
boys.
damage from
Yo,
Nairo,
But
and
there goes
yeah.
the Luma, man. And
There
another hit
goes
just
Luma.
to make sure here for Nairo. There's an
Yeah,
area
now it's like the
started.
time to strike. Now is the time to
comeback
strike.
king, of course,
Go
Nairo,
in.
just like that. He took the lead right under the
Of course,
buzzer
like you
throw.
can't be stupid with your aggression, but
Obviously
like,
just pinning him down and really
yeah.
stopping a lot of his just
So much
long
easier to
range
get damage when
aggressive
Luma
options. You know, the
is
fact that
gone.
Rosalina, the Buzz, you know, they play such a very stationary but very long range game as well, too, courtesy of the Luma. You know, that's enough
Yeah,
to
that was
really
good. That was good.
very
Making it
stationary
hard
but
to
very
like
long
know
range
if
game
he's
as
gonna
well, too,
like.
courtesy of the Luma. Rosalina, the
Because
Buzz,
you
they
can
play
see
such a
like
very
these
stationary
attempts
but
here from Nairo after this up air
very long
is like
range game.
he's okay. Yeah, like he's jumping, landing, jumping, landing, jumping, taking him. So it's like he's keeping the bus on his toes. It's a huge difference between like great and decent players. Like a lot of people, like they try to like attack on the first attempt every time. But like mixing it up, like Nairo, like he was like making it look like I'm gonna attack, I'm not. Making it look like I'm gonna attack, I'm not. Attacking. So it's like good mix-up game.
The Luma, you know, that's enough to really aid the Buzz sometimes, but not quite enough. Nairo on the horizon here to pushing us to a game.
Oh
Number 5
my.
gets the sour spike, but
That
damn
was
it, it
close.
hits sweet though.
and he's still keeping the pressure. I
That's
don't think
pretty
there's a
bad
jump on
uppy from Nairo.
Wow, he does not hit the 2-frame. The forward smash does not connect. Nairo
That's
gets
the
an
worst
opening, but gets
feeling
swatted
when
right
you
back
have
out
the
Luma.
when you have like the time, like you're about to time the regular
really small margins
stand
there
up,
that could have been fatal
the
to
regular
Nairo,
get
could have
up,
made
and
this
you
game so
barely
much
like
closer.
mistime it
Instead,
by a frame
Nairo's
or
got this
so.
extra stock to work with,
And then
and
different
he's working
characters in
all the
Ultimate
way
having
to
slightly
left.
different
Barely
timings as
died
well.
there.
Oh my goodness.
It can be
Complete
annoying to
turnaround, no
like
platform for you,
be
good
consistent
sir.
at with
What I
smash
tell
attack
you, man, you
sometimes.
don't want to back Nairo too far into a corner, man, because he'll bite.
With grabs,
Right.
people are like
Yeah.
super
That's
consistent
But
though.
dude, I don't-
At
I
least
still-
on characters
I don't
with
know
regular
what the song-
timing.
Dabuz also very resilient, you know, when he's in a bad spot, he can come back strong too. Let's see though, he's down 68, 81% now, and Nairo getting rid of Luma, keeping the
Ooh,
jump.
that down
See, though,
tilt.
he's down 68, 81%.
Look at this. He's like super like, yeah, that was really good spacing.
Wow. Keeping the juggle going.
Down tilt, yes, very short and simplistic combos right here.
Yep.
Damn
Nairo
placement.
likes to go
We're
for
not
that
gonna
one,
cause a trouble.
especially when it kills. Especially when it kills.
Call that one simplistic combos right
Yeah.
here.
Like the down tilt is so quick as well.
Down tilt, yes,
Like-
very short.
This is like a safe 2-frame. Some 2-frames, your move is like laggy, so if you miss the 2-frame, they can like get up attack you, for example. But this down tilt 2-frame is so quick that you're entirely safe. So even if you whiff, it's like perfectly fine. And then Palu has one of the best ledge trumps. Like characters that does ledge trump, I would say it's mainly character with a very strong backer that benefits from it. Because it actually will kill. Same thing with like Arson backer, for example. Leo does it quite a bit. Lucina has a very strong backer. So
The impeachment. We're not gonna call it the Trump. We're gonna call that.
yeah, against Nairo and Leo, these two players in particular, I would say it's important when you are at kill percent to be very well aware that they actually go for the ledge trump.
Just to give him a
Many characters, I feel like it's not really worth it.
Process. Usually
But yeah, Palu, Lucina, Joker, these are the characters where it's clearly worth to go for it
That's right. Well, I hope the Buzz
sometimes.
doesn't chill too hard right here, because this isn't game number 5 right here for at least the first set of grand finals, and that's to say.
But it's also like
get to
player
the second
preference.
set,
Like
you
some
chill. Whoa, what the
some
hell you doing? He just
players
alley,
playing these
raised,
characters
it
will
wasn't
never
right
try
there.
to ledge
Good
trump
time to go
anyway.
for proper follow-up. The window wasn't
So it's not
wide enough
only a
because of
character
the
thing.
because he
Like
was able to air
some
his way
players
out of that.
prefer it more than others.
Boom, dash attack. Yes.
Forward air, a very good move for Rosalina, but doesn't auto cancel on landing on short hop like that, so Nairo will be able to punish it. And you know, Palutena does move pretty quick on her feet there.
Great dash speed on this character.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like
Yeah.
she's broken or something.
Yeah.
What she lacks in frame data, she makes up for in movement.
Yeah, very, very true. Here's the Nair though. Wow, and right here, the Buzz out nairing Palutena, definitely a difficult task to do in Ultimate. Just as I say it, Nairo's like, let me remind you.
Yeah, let me remind you about this move right here called Nair. Oh, and then again, you know, Nairo just being able to separate.
Yeah, Mega Man also has a strong backer.
That's certainly something you
And
really
also like a
need to
multi-hit
tap
move
into.
as well.
Precise with it.
Mega Man's backer is super good. But that's what I'm saying, like characters with good backers, that's like the characters where you should expect ledge trumps the most from.
Just in time to save
Yeah,
Okay, Dabuz.
the bus keeps getting so much mileage out of it. I actually feel like Nairo probably should just try to shield more in these type of scenarios. Feels like he's trying to like challenge it a little bit too much, but that actually might have been a parry attempt.
Yes.
Yeah, the platform arriving just in time to
Yeah, because yeah, the first okay, I can respect it. Parry's a lot more risky though when you're at kill percent. Like if you don't die from missing a parry, it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, it's obviously risky when you actually die
Okay,
if you miss the
Dabuz.
parry.
Smashville in town and Smash 4, man, they were kind of rough against Rosalina because sometimes it gives Luma a second lease on life.
Exactly.
This time, the same could be said only for
Yeah,
town.
the bus is so
Against
good at
Rosalina,
getting
'cause sometimes
these
it gives Luma a second lease on life.
follow-ups.
Exactly.
This time, the same could be said only for town.
Looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Wow, the Buzz is cooking despite that kind of sus uppy in the very beginning. He's reminding everyone, I'm kind of clean, guys.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Kinda sus
seems hard to
uppy in
get
the
back
very
against
beginning.
Rosa's ledge
He's
trapping.
reminding everyone,
Like the bus normally sets it up in a very similar way, like Luma in the front, Rosa covering roll distance.
he's reminding everyone,
Even if you
clean,
jump,
guys.
it's
That's
still
right, yeah.
like
I mean,
hard
one
to
of the
get back
cleanest ends of
down.
the business. I mean, you don't get a Marvel's Avengers liquid jersey for no damn reason, okay? I mean, remember how long it took Spider-Man to become an Avenger? Okay, I'm just saying.
And man, look at this. The Buzz is just on the offense right now. Already 7
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these like slower moves for two framing, it's so inconsistent. It's almost like a qualified guess that has a very low chance of actually landing. Yeah, Luma was far enough in front there, so Nairo could jump. Or Nairo couldn't jump, I mean.
Wow, thought they're not finishing him off. I think it was just Rosalina that connected.
Yeah, if he was not desynced, he would have got that stock. But since the Buzz went for the desync option to cover more options, he did not get the killing blow.
You got to be kidding me right now. We're playing the floor is a lava right there. Okay, a bit of a laggy option. The explosive flame forcing the high recovery and then the fall off right into the back here.
Yeah,
oh, I love
that was reacted to the explosive
right
flames.
Wasn't sure if Nairo's going to be punishable or not.
Yeah, I'm like, that should not connect.
He is in full lipo mode, just can't die right now. As I say it,
that was a bit unfortunate for the Buzz.
I hooked you up with the commentary curse.
Thank you, Korean.
Ooh, barely late.
Nairo fan, bro?
Hey, whoa, man, no bias, no bias.
Is that? Nah.
You like see me
That was
on
a
my
bit
phone,
weaker.
Nairo Apex fan
in the chat.
Yeah, type that in chat right now. I want to see if you got it. Yeah?
Right.
All right, but Nairo sitting at 175, and for any Nairo fan, you gotta be sweating, right? Because you know.
Yeah, that's the dash attack I talked about. The Buzz likes to do that. Like I mentioned it in the first match when he came to the Olimar game, but yeah, the Buzz likes to, like, in scenarios where he really have a feeling that you might dash attack, he likes to shield and then yeah, he's kill you. I noticed that, especially at Big House when I played against the Buzz. That was the first time I ever played him, and I noticed he did that.
It is definitely the Buzz with most of the room to work with, but you know what though, he's definitely earned his right to be here in Grand Finals. All the research, all the data he's crunched, all the close nail biting sets, and of course being able to just beat down a lot of the Japanese players in the task, definitely within itself.
Yeah, Palu's actually really good at that, where you attack, and even if you air dodge, you're still like getting punished for it.
By the way, worth mentioning, Dabuz also.
No, the Buzz. I knew it was gonna happen on this stock, but that's a shame. That's a shame.
By the way, worth mentioning, Dabuz also.
Yeah, he wouldn't have died from the Nair. He probably would have gotten hit, but not died. But it's not only that he killed himself; it's also like the mental, like, the result of it. Like, you need to, like, shake it off. So that can, like, some people might have been like, oh, he was like at high damage, it doesn't really matter. But we're all humans, right? So how you mentally, like, get affected, that actually might hurt more than the SD per se. So that's something to keep in mind, because like a lot of people will be like, oh, it's high damage, doesn't really matter. But yeah, the mentality, of course, you can work on being really good at that, but it's easier said than done.
In the chat. Why are people getting so hyped over it?
Hey, you can't pop off on SD, man. Well, either way, it is worth noting.
Dude, I hate when people pop off from SDs. And I know someone will say, like, oh, I'm allowed to do it if I want to. Yes, you are allowed to do it, but I personally have never been a fan of it.
Things could go a different way for him this year.
Most definitely could. About halfway there right here into evening this thing up. Runs right up, goes for the grab. Again, you know, just very aggressive, very much in your face.
Double jump. This is no double jump. Oh, man. Almost gets the 2-frame there, but we're going to fly him right back out. See if we can clean this edge guard up. Oh my goodness,
ooh, that was so close to death.
The fall off nair, ladies and gentlemen.
He's alive.
No.
Not quite enough right here for the reset.
Oh my goodness.
He's still alive.
Dude, I think the kill screen in this game, it's like too much.
This character is not heavy.
Okay, there's the corner. Yes, now get off of me. Luma's almost back here.
Oh, this is down to the wire. Game 5. Are we going to get a reset?
Is that going to be it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was very close. That was very close. Yeah, that gotta hurt for the Buzz, especially considering that SD. Yeah, that's rough. It's a good set overall, though. It's a good set overall, and we went over a lot of different aspects. So I hope you all learned something. Yeah, we're not gonna do the second set. I heard it was like 3-0, and it's what happens sometimes when people lose a first set that is that close. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video, the insights, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.